Remember when we learned about lists and tuples? They're great for storing data, but let's be honest. Sometimes they can be a bit of a headache. Searching for a specific item in the list? Slow. Dealing with duplicate values? Chaotic. What if I told you there was a better way to handle all of these data? That's where dictionaries and sets come in. In this video, we'll see how these two powerful tools can make your data handling faster, more cleaner, and more efficient. Let's dive in. Now, dictionary in Python is similar to a dictionary in real life. It has values stored in key value pairs, which allow you to quickly look up values according to their keys. Like how dictionary in real life has words and meanings. Dictionary in Python has key and values. For example, let's say I have a key name. And its value could be anything. Let's say codon. We have a key age. And let's say the age is 12. This is key value pairs. This right here is key. And this is values. This is how values get stored in a dictionary in key value pairs. Dictionary does not have indexes. Does not have index. And also can't have duplicate keys. You cannot put duplicate keys. Let's say, for example, let's say I want to put two names. You cannot do it. Now let's move on to creating dictionary in Python. To create a dictionary, first you need a variable to store the dictionary in. And you start with a curly bracket. Let's say our key here is name. And let's say name is Anthony. And let's say you separate the keys and values by a comma. And let's say his age is 12. And he lives, which is his address. Let's say he lives in California. So this is a dictionary. It has values in key and values, right? Every single thing here is in key and value. So let's try to print this dictionary first. So just to see how it looks. It's the same, obviously. Now, how do I access specific values in the dictionary? Let's say I want to access Anthony, his age, or his address. I can do that by just simply adding a large bracket and let's say his name to the name of the dictionary, by the way. And let's run it. As you can see, it returns Anthony. Same way, let's pick his age and his address. You can also use another dictionary method called get. You need to use small bracket for this or parenthesis. Let's run it. As you can see, it still returns the same values, but what's the difference? Okay, so main difference between using get and just using the normal keys is basically when you use get, let's say you access a key that does not exist. Let's say addresses. The addresses key does not exist in this dictionary. It will just return none. Now what happens if you just use the normal method of keys, right? So if you just use this, it will just result in a big error. So to prevent your code does not end up crashing, you can use get. It is more recommended instead of using this method. Another fun fact about dictionaries is dictionaries are mutable. So you can add stuff, remove stuff, and update stuff. So here, let's say I want Anthony's phone number. I want to add Anthony's phone number to this dictionary. I can do that by using dictionary's name and big bracket and phone number. Let's say his phone number is 123. Now, if I print the dictionary, you will see Anthony's phone number in the dictionary. As you can see here, let me close this, restart. As you can see, phone number has been added to the dictionary. Now, another thing is how to update values in the dictionary. Let's say Anthony moved out and he moved to New York. So I have to change the California here to New York. I can do that by A, and using the key here, I'll put the key, which is address, and we'll change that to New York. If I print this, as you can see, his address has been changed to New York. Now for the fun part. How do you remove stuff from the dictionary? So to remove stuff from dictionary, there are two ways. Number one is the pop method. Another is the del method. So first, let's look at the pop method. So let's say I want Anthony's age removed completely from the dictionary. I can do that by a.pop and the key of the age, which is age itself. So let's run it. As you can see, the age, key, and value has been removed from the dictionary. Another is the del method. So use the keyword del, a, and you do age. As you can see, it still works. The age has been removed from the dictionary. Now let's move on to other interesting dictionary methods. So the first one is the method that prints all the keys, specifically keys of the dictionary. So we're talking about name, age, address. So a.keys, this is how you get the keys of the dictionary. We have printed it, so let's run it. As you can see, name, age, address, these are the keys of the dictionary. Same with the values. If you change the keys to values, it will list all the values. Anthony 12, California. So another one is to print all the items in a tuple. So if you use a.items here, it will give you a list of tuples. So what is a list of tuples? It's basically tuples stored in a list, as you can see here. So basically what it does, it changes all the key and values into tuples, different tuples, and store all the tuples in a list, as you can see here. This is specifically useful when you're looping through a dictionary. Now let's move on to iterating through a dictionary, or to looping through a dictionary. To loop through a dictionary, we use for loop. Generally, for loop is used. You can also use while loop. So we do for key and value, because we're iterating key and value in a. So if you do only a here, this will throw an error because you cannot iterate dictionary as it is. So we learned a method, items, right? We use this because this returns a list of tuples as we discussed. So if we had to print this, so we'll use an F string here. We'll use key and values. So let's print this. As you can see, it says name Anthony, age 12, and address California. That means it's looping through the dictionary pretty well. So let's say I remove this. What happens? Oh no, value error. You cannot loop through a dictionary as it is. You need to use the method items. Now, that is pretty much it for the dictionary. Now, let's move on to sets. Now, let's move on to something a little bit different, that is sets. So, sets in Python are similar to lists and tuples. The main key difference is that they are unordered. That means the items might appear in any order when you print them out. The other key difference is that they cannot have duplicate values. That means sets do not allow duplicate values. They don't have indexes, so you cannot access the items like you do in lists and tuples. But they are in fact mutable. So you can still add and remove stuff from the sets. So let's see an example. So let's create a set of fruits. So let's name the set fruits. That is our variable. We start with a curly bracket again, but we don't store values in key value pairs, okay? So here, let's say I have an apple, I have a banana, and oranges. So this is a set of fruits. Let's print it. As I said before, sets are unordered. Let's see what it means. That means it can appear in any order when you print them out. As you can see, I put apple, banana, and orange. But it prints oranges, banana, and apple. Completely random. That's what it means to be unordered. So, as I said, sets are mutable. That means you can, in fact, add and remove stuff. So let's add another fruit. Let's say fruits.add. This is the method you use to add stuff in sets. So let's say I want to add lychee. Print out the updated set. As you can see, lychee has been added. So another thing you can do is to remove. So let's say I want to remove apple because I don't like apples. Let's do fruits dot remove, and let's remove apple. I forgot to print this. So let's print the updated again. I will comment this. So here, too many sets. As you can see, apple has been removed. Now, another fun thing you can do is to check if an item exists in a set. To do that, you basically kind of use the concept of looping, but not loop. So you do print if apple exists in fruits. If apple does exist in fruits, it will return true. For now, let's remove apple. And let's print again. As you can see, it returns false. So you can actually check if an item actually exists in a set. This is another fun thing you can do. So here I have a small coding challenge for you guys. Pause the video and try it yourself. Done? Let's do it. So here it's saying create a dictionary for a store inventory where keys are the names of the products, values are the prices of those products. So it's basically saying to create a dictionary of products and their prices. Then write a program that asks the user for the product name and prints his price. So for that, let me first create a dictionary. So let's say our dictionary name is product. And you can also make a dictionary like this to make it more prettier. So here, let's say that our first product is apple. Let's say apple is $2. And another is banana. Let's say it's $3. And let's go more bold. Let's go cereal. Cereal is very expensive, $10. And another is milk. When you have cereal, you do need milk, right? Let's say milk is cheaper, $5. So these are our products. So we have to let the user enter a product. So we'll do user. I'll put input. We'll use the input function and enter your product name. And I'll make sure this is in lowercase just to make sure it also handles the case sensitive part. I'll use the if statement here. So I'll do if user, the product that user enters, is in fact in our dictionary, Now, if this checks if the product entered by the user is in fact in our dictionary. If it is, then print. Now again, I will use an F string here to, let's say here, we'll do user, the value entered by the user, and its price. So I'll do product and the user. So user is in fact the product that he entered. So this will give the values, which are the prices. What if the product that entered by the user does not exist? I'll just let the user know that it does not exist, saying the item you searched does not exist. Like this. Let's try to run it. So it's asking the product name. Let's say Apple. You can see it actually says is $2. Let's run it again. This time let's search for a product that does not exist. So cookies. It does not exist. As you can see, it says the item you search doesn't exist. And that is for the video. If you have any questions regarding to how to use dictionaries and sets, please leave them in the description box below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And also don't forget to check out coding.com for more interactive courses and also to get a certificate. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.